Texas. Looks like it's going to be heading eastward. Included in the polygon is Forest Home, Shacklesville, and then Alabama 10. It's going to be moving in this direction, kind of moving east at 35 miles per hour. All right, still radar indicated tornado. That's coming out of Mobile. Let's see here. And a lot of wind gusts along that line back to our north, along Highway 31 in Chilton County, winds 44 miles per hour up around Shelby County. So that's kind of what we have going with that upstream in that line. But still, by far, our best circulation that we have ongoing right now is in around Old Texas. And that will move up toward Forest Home, Manningham, Shacklesville included in that. Tornado warning ongoing. And that warning runs until, let's see the new one. It's going to run until 3:15. Okay. With that circulation right there in Old Texas. And still in there. Let's see if we can pick up anybody else just east of that. Awin, again over 47. It's going to get just east of that. And it's going to get up into western Butler County, and that'll be close to Forest Home, Salser, Shacklesville, Bibb Road, and that looks like Butler Spring Road. So that's coming down, that's downstream of that, where the warning's still active, just that circulation passing right over Little Texas, Old Texas. Still showing up. Just south of Pineapple. A little bit of that's close to that circulation's close to Pineapple too. Just south of there. But pretty close. It's going to come up to that fork right there at Alabama 47 that comes into 10. But maybe just kind of work its way eastward. Let's see if we got a little bit of a turn to that. Going to move that direction right there. So I'm thinking on up toward Forest Home, Salser, if you're in the path of that. That rotation's coming right up in there, and that's going to be western Butler County, which is actually included in the warning. Okay. So you need to be in your safe place. Forest Home, Salser, Pineapple, pretty close to you. You're included in the polygon. You live along Alabama 10 and western Butler County, southeastern Wilcox County, and northeastern Monroe County. You still have to be hunkered down in your safe place because we have a circulation here coming right over Alabama 47, right there at Old Texas, passing right over there. Warning still continues until about 3, goodness, I think it's 3:15. Tornado warning. And it is the only tornado warning that we have ongoing. All right. And let's just pop back out. Kind of reestablish. Okay, what we got going on is tornado watch that has been expanded for our area. Storms moving along a line have shifted that a little farther eastward because of these individual cells, and we could see additional counties be added to that. We'll just kind of see how it plays out, but for right now, the tornado watch from Acusa, Elmore, Montgomery, Lowndes, Butler, Conecuh, off toward the west, already whittling some counties away. Greene and Hale, Marengo County still included in that. But once the line completely swings through your county, I think you'll be taken off of the out of the tornado watch. It's just going to be a little while. They're going to wait till the squall line moves through before they start taking off counties. I got a live look in Selma, which right now you're kind of in between. It looks like you've got the squall line approaching from the west, so heads up there, Selma, that's coming your way. You've had some storms east of you. You may have seen that lightning. Now you've got the line that is approaching from the west, and that's going to be coming in shortly. And that will be wind and rain and lightning with that also as that comes through. And so here it is, kind of the big picture. There's our tornado warning. Southeastern Wilcox, northeastern Monroe, and a lot of Butler County, including the city of Greenville. Forest Homes included in that. Then you've got the squall line back toward the west. It has cleared Demopolis, so it looks like you're on the backside of the squall line now. Working through Marion and Perry County, pushing southward, approaching Clanton, approaching Selma, and it will be approaching Camden, pushing its way off toward the east, wind, rain. And so far, Weather Service out of Birmingham is just issuing special statements along that. All right, let me switch gears a little bit. The circulation with the storm down in Monroe County, northeastern Monroe County, has broadened out some, but still persisting, now located over 47, just south of Wilcox County line. All right. So, circulation's broadened, so it's gotten a little opened up a little bit. If you're a tornado and you want to strengthen, you want it to tighten. And so we're doing just the opposite of that. So that's a good sign. Let's hope that trend will continue. Meanwhile, the warning's still up. You still got some circulation going on. And we'll look at it. Which is, and we're getting out there where we're getting sweeps. Looks like we're right in through there. Right there south of Awin. I mean, we're in northeastern Monroe County. There's a new update. So we're kind of between Awin and Saucer to Forest Home. If you live in this area right in through here, we've got a storm that's capable of producing a tornado. And so we got to, it's radar indicated. This thing could intensify at any moment as it works off north and eastward to east along Alabama 10. So if you live between Awin and Saucer and Forest Home, you need to be in your safe place. This is just northwest of Shackleville, and it is moving east at about 40 miles per hour. Okay. And let's see, Greenville. We'll put the polygon back on. And there it is. Okay. So Manningham, Red Dock Springs, there's Greenville right there. Searcy, all included in the polygon. There's our circulation right through there. Broadened a little bit, but still the warning continues. And that warning's going to go until 3:15. And right now, it looks like the circulation's right on, kind of that Tri-County right in through here. Southeastern Wilcox, kind of including Pineapple, just south and east of Pineapple, or very close to Pineapple, included in it, and also western Butler County. So if you live in Forest Home, you got to be in your safe place. That circulation's approaching you. So head to your safe place, and also towards Shackleville, included in that as well. So those are some of the areas that we're watching for now. All right. Right there on the county line, approaching Forest Home and Salser. Okay. Yeah, it still shows up. Looking at a couple of other radar sources that I have available. So that's approaching Forest Home. If you live in Forest Home, you got to be in your safe place. Circulation with this storm moving north and eastward. It's going to be heading toward Manningham, just close to Shackleville, and right there along Alabama 10. If you live along Alabama 10, east of Pineapple, close to Forest Home, and then just north of Shackleville, you've got that circulation approaching you, so you need to be in your safe place as that comes through. All right, so that's where we are at the moment. You got Butler Springs right there. Goodness, there's Bibb Road. Going to be coming up into Forest Home, crossing over 7th Avenue, Salser right there along Alabama 10, Montreux Road. And again, movements to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Most circulation, steady circulation we've had all night. So Montgomery radar's the strengthening of the circulation a little bit. It's moved into Butler County near Alabama 10, moving in the general direction of Forest Home. Yeah. So it's just what we've been talking about. Again, if you live in Forest Home, I got a buddy that lives there. You should be in your safe place. So that's going to be coming up into Forest Home very shortly, knocking on the door. And you need to be in your safe place as that storm approaches. Moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And so we suggest you get to the lowest floor, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and away from windows is the best thing. And so that storm approaching. And there you go, that circulation still showing up right there, knocking on the door at Forest Home. So you got to be in your safe place. Along Alabama 10, Salser to Forest Home, just north of Shacklesville. That's where our circulation is located, all right? So remain in your safe place. That is western Butler County. And there we are, right there. You can see that circulation still ongoing. This is west of Greenville. Greenville, you're included in the polygon, but right now we'll see if this continues that eastward movement along Alabama 10. If it does, that would just cruise it right on up toward town. But right now, we'll see how that plays out. All right. So just southwest of probably Forest Home right now, but approaching, knocking on the door at Forest Home right now. This is western Butler County, working along Alabama 10. It will impact Salser, 7th Avenue that comes out of Forest Home. Going to pass right through there. Of course, Forest Home Road. You also got Sawyer Road, as that's coming up into Forest Home at the moment. Okay, so get into your safe place. Circulation, storm, capable of producing a tornado. No confirmation with it, but we do have a circulation with it. Tornado warning, Butler County. Storm, right there, new update, looks like. With our circulation right there. There's Herbert right there to the west of Herbert. It's probably going to move into there as well. And then from there, that circulation will probably move over toward Manningham, Herbert, Red Dock Springs, and then you got Greenville. So a heads up for Greenville. That circulation's west of you, but it is tracking maybe a little bit of a northeast jog to it now. So you can see Greenville there, and then we've got more of kind of a northeast jog to it. But we'll see, still along that Alabama 10 corridor as the circulation moves right over Forest Home. All right. I'm going to take a break from that just a sec and just kind of go out and see if we've got anything else that might bear watching on the northern extent, and really not that I can see at least any of these. And that's just rain, Alexander City, Rockford. But really that heavy rain and that stronger winds are coming into Clanton, and really we haven't had any warnings along this, just special weather statements. And for some reason that radar's dropping out there. Birmingham, there it comes back. So that line is approaching Selma. This is the squall line. This is what's going to bring wind and rain and some lightning. And then once you get on the back side of it, you're in the clear. But right now that's approaching Selma, which I have pulled up on a camera. So we'll take that when it gets a little closer. Also, that's down toward Thomasville. You've got wind and rain that's going to be approaching Pine Hill and also Camden in Wilcox County. And then just some individual cells down south. But by far, our storm of note is going to be this one right there in western Butler County. Right over Forest Home. Let's see where we are. Yeah, right there between Forest Home and Salser. And I'll kind of get a, hopefully an update from that. From a buddy of mine that's right there, probably hunkered down. And let me know how that goes when it comes through. Right now, I would say this circulation is right over Forest Home, between Forest Home and Salser. Just north of Alabama 10, moving east, kind of a northeast jog to it maybe, at about 40 miles per hour. So there's our circulation still holding on there. That could be impacting Manningham shortly as it races off north and eastward. Okay. So again, remain in your safe place there in western Butler County. And let me put that on there. Yeah, this thing's still holding on. Now making it just a little farther eastward. Looks like it may have just crossed over 7th Avenue right there in Forest Home. Going to be moving up toward Bragg Hill School, Manningham. You'll be impacted by that. Let me take a look at something here, just see if we picked up anything. Probably not, but I'll take a look at that. I need to get that on. Don't see anything. Nothing on there, debris-wise. Too hard to see. A little bit on the back side of that too, back toward Pineapple. Let's see if anything's trying to trail that. I'll read the update on this one here shortly. Let me get back into velocity because it seems like we can see it a little bit better there. Not as impressive on that scan. All right, the tornadic thunderstorm which prompted the warning has moved out of the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. That is for Wilcox County. Okay. So Wilcox County is out of that. And then tornado warning remains in effect for northern Butler County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing that tornado, possible tornado, about 10 miles east of Pineapple or 11 miles west of Greenville now, moving east at 40. All right. Still radar indicated. Just moved, that circulation just moved kind of east of Forest Home. There you go, update that sweep. And that's heading up toward Manningham. And it looks like if that continues on that path, that could keep it a little farther north of Greenville. And then you got to start looking up Alabama 263, 185, and Fort Deposit. And so it looks like that circulation's now just east of Forest Home. And that's going to take it up toward Ridge Road, Manningham, Sterling Lake Campground. It's going to be north and west of Red Ox Springs and now east of Forest Home. All right. And there's your polygon, which right now doesn't include Lowndes County. But this is exclusive here for Butler County. Going to cross over 185 at some point. And it's still circulating, broad circulation. All right. So the polygon doesn't include Greenville. So just north of you, but this is northwest of Greenville, moving east at about 40 miles per hour. So with that, right there on the doorstep of Manningham. If you live in Manningham, you got to be in your safe place. Sterling Lake Campground and Park. If you're in this area, and Sterling Lake Road, you got to be in your safe place. 263 and 185. All right, let's see what that's all about. Lowndes County. So that's, I think, Birmingham. So now that's extended up into Lowndes County too. And pull that up. Yeah, because that's got to come out of Birmingham, that warning. Mobile is handling that for Butler County, and then Birmingham's pulling that for Lowndes County. And still a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located about 10 miles northwest of Greenville, moving to the northeast at 35. Still radar indicated, but there's our circulation just past Forest Home. And so No confirmation with that, but still, if you're east of this circulation, you need to be in your safe place. And that's going to be Manningham, Sterling Lake Campground, and also included in the polygon, Clover Hill, County Road 45, Fort Deposit, Searcy, and then, let's see, eventually it's going to cross over I-65, but that'll be down the road a little piece. That may be in through Lowndes County by the time this circulation moves kind of a northeast. So at some point it will cross over I-65, more than likely, if it holds together. And right there, just a cell by itself, long track circulation, ongoing. And right now, just really hasn't, not getting any reports of anything significant with that. And if we even did, let's put on some lightning with that, kind of see how this thing's still going. So you're going to get a heads up when this thing's approaching. If you're in Fort Deposit, the lightning's south and west of you, so probably a lot of noise ongoing. That's approaching, so heads up. More lightning, closer to the storm, approaching you. Let's take that off, and we'll put a loop on that. We'll see the movement. All right, so now, well east of Forest Home now, our circulation heading up toward 185, Alabama 185, and 263. This is northern Butler County, about to move up into Lowndes County, and from there could impact Fort Deposit. So if you live in Fort Deposit, we suggest that you head into your safe place. Okay. Well, that scan didn't do well for us, so we'll see how it plays out. But right now, that doesn't, from that vantage point. Let me see where I'm pulling that from. There we go. Again, that's going to be just north of Greenville. And you're not included in the polygon. And the circulation's east of Forest Home. Okay. So that's what we have ongoing. And let me put a track on that. So up around Searcy at 320, and then Fort Deposit around 326, and then Logan around 333. Okay. So those are some of the places that will be impacted. Could be by the circulation as it comes through. Still not anything confirmed, but radar indicated storm capable of producing a tornado. And there's our circulation right through there. Just northwest of Greenville. Greenville, you're not included in the polygon. Fort Deposit, you are. And that circulation is going to pass right there, just passing through Manningham at the moment. Sterling Lake Campground and Park up towards Searcy. There's Alabama 185. And then again, eventually that will cross over I-65 and through either Lowndes or northern Butler County with that circulation right there. And let's come out of, switch this to, yeah, so if you live in Fort Deposit, you should be in your safe place. Also Logan, this storm with its circulations approaching you. It's our one and only individual cell that has prompted a tornado warning. And that looks to be the most, we'll have to go out and change that to reflectivity. But for right now, that seems to be our most threatening storm. And just a big cluster of storms here, but that individual one. And then we've got the squall line back here toward the west right now, moving through Selma. And so let's take a peek at that. I can show you with our tower cam that we have there in town. And just kind of get an idea of what we're getting as far as the rain goes. And it looks like it is coming down. And let's see, you can see the Edmund Pettus Bridge all kind of swinging on around a little bit. Let's take it down. And very heavy rain, some wind. See a little bit of horizontal raindrops there occasionally. There's the courthouse right there. And right now, as I look at the trees, I mean, they're kind of shielded by the some of the buildings, but and they are blowing, so it is some wind coming through Selma at the moment. Definitely a lot of lightning with that. There's not a severe thunderstorm warning out for that, just some strong winds coming through, some very heavy rain. And well, you can see the flag down there at the bottom, so that flag's extended out. So there's some strong winds blowing through Selma at the moment. That may be just, you can see the flag right there. Very heavy rain. All right. Take you back to the radar. And we'll see what's going on area wide, a little farther out as we go. And again, there's the line coming through Selma, very heavy rain, but and some lightning with it as well. But so far, what's been along the line has hasn't been as intense. But there's still time. We'll see how that plays out. We're still going to be tracking that. That's got to move through. Everybody's going to be impacted by this line right here. All of our area. It's going to swing through Alex City, Wetumpka, Montgomery, and point southward. So everybody will be impacted by that as it moves through. And so, okay. A couple of things here. Let me see who's putting that out. Lounge rotation could be cycling, weaker at the moment, and now stronger. All right. And it looks as though that line a little more intense down here toward the south, maybe coming out of Thomasville into through western Wilcox County. Okay. All right, still on. I think we're adding some more counties to this watch. I'll pick that up in a second, but let's look at this. Still got the warning out for northern Butler County and southern Lowndes County. And let me go back into velocity on that. And there's our circulation right there. So we got that approaching Fort Deposit right there at Searcy, and that's going to be Alabama. I believe that's 185 approaching you folks. If you live in this area, you need to stay in your safe place. Just pass through the Sterling Lake Campground and Park. There's Alabama 185 right there, and that east to northeast movement at about 35 miles per hour. So coming close to Searcy, making a movement toward Fort Deposit. So if you live in Fort Deposit, you want to be in your safe place as that moves through. And that's been our one rotating storm. It continues on, moving through northern Monroe County, heading up into southern Lowndes County. All right. All right, so that tornado watch has been expanded, and we'll pick that up. So, they went for it. All right, so everybody. The exception is going to be our western areas, and once the line moves through, completely gets out of Marengo County, then Marengo will be dropped off. But everything east of that, and that all goes to the state line. So Tallapoosa County, Lee, all the way to the Wiregrass, everybody is included in the tornado watch, which that one will run until, let's see what the timing is on that. Elmer County, 9 a.m. So until 9 a.m. Okay. All right, so that circulation is approaching, that says 4 a.m., but that's for these areas westward. But now this extended east of the I-65 corridor is going to be till 9 a.m. But odds are our counties may be whittled away from that because this goes into Georgia, so that's going to go into your 9 a.m. time period. A lot of this should be east of us by the time we get to 3:15, so by the time we get into 6 a.m., a lot of this will be over toward the state line. That's what it looked like earlier. All right. So long night. We'll continue into the morning hours here with really this one cell that continues to prompt the tornado warning, but you can see the overall movement of all this is east to west, but down here you got these individual cells that are racing off to the north and east, and this is really our cluster here. Eventually maybe this line is racing and it may catch up with it, and then it just kind of merges into the line, and then we just get the squall line to move through here, and then we may switch toward where, I mean, we'll still be looking out ahead because, you know, you can see some of these starting to take shape here, but that's going to get out of our area. It's already out of our coverage area. But this is still battleground out in here, east of the I-65 corridor, 85, where we could get some individual cells. But for right now, the one that's really of note is going to be this cell down here in southern Lowndes County, right there at Fort Deposit. And that's still prompting the tornado warning. So it looks like a lot of that's probably just worked out of Butler County. I mean, yeah, just about. Still in the northern half right there, just north of Searcy. I'm going to save that. And so that's going to make that beeline up toward Fort Deposit, so it is going to get up into southern Lowndes County here very shortly, and at some point in Lowndes County, we'll cross over I-65, and we'll put the polygon back on that, kind of see where we are. All right. And okay. Nothing else from those guys in Birmingham. All right. Let's see, Mobile kind of still holding on to, oh, they're actually extending that over into Crenshaw County. So, where do we have? Yeah, so that's going to plot here in a sec. So, tornado warning, northeastern Butler County and also northwestern Crenshaw County, with the storm capable of producing a tornado was located over Lowndes County Airport, or about 4 miles southwest of Fort Deposit, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. All right, so the polygon, I guess it just clips in there, just enough there in the western half of Crenshaw County. That's Crenshaw right there, Highland Home. But here is our circulation, just southwest, or very close to Fort Deposit. And that's Alabama 185, crossing over that now on up into Fort Deposit. It's going to cross over Interstate 65, somewhere, right there in southern Lowndes County. And this thing's just been kind of broad, tightening, broad. So it's been a little finicky. And that tornado warning is going to go through 3:30 with that northeast movement at about 45. Right there over Fort Deposit, circulation's right there. So again, you folks in Fort Deposit, you're still hunkered down. You've got this circulation moving overhead, radar indicated circulation, which is prompting the tornado warning. And I'm going to be crossing over I-65 shortly up toward Alabama 97 and 31 also. And then we'll be getting up toward southern Montgomery County here shortly as well. It's moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So again, Fort Deposit in the crosshairs right now, and then eventually that could get up toward between Calhoun, Sandy Ridge, Mount Carmel. If you live in these areas, you want to get to your safe place. That's going to be and through southern Montgomery County is right through here, and this is northwestern Crenshaw County. And then we've pretty much got the circulate. We'll be dropped from Butler County here shortly, but we've got the circulation up and through Lowndes County right now, right over Fort Deposit and moving north and eastward. So that's the track of this cell. And let me see if there's anything else out there. Just a big cluster. You got some more individuals down south, down around Monroeville. So any of these will have to be watched as they move off north and eastward, coming into Conecuh County, Evergreen. So if we get any new development, it could be anywhere down and through here from Monroeville over toward Evergreen. Got to watch those. Even these little small guys, just like that, just east of Beatrice, they still got to be watched. So Greenville, while that is passing north of you, you still have activity south and west of you, so you're not in the clear. And then everybody east of that, Crenshaw County, Pike, Montgomery County, could be impacted. But boy, it's easy to see that this cluster right here that's moving through northern Butler County, north of Greenville, and around Fort Deposit, a lot of lightning with that. On that movement to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour, that's going to get up into southern Montgomery County. And so we'll see how that goes. It'll eventually cross over 31, 331, 231 as well. And the line is trying to catch up with it, and we'll see what factor that has with it. But these are still out ahead of it, so they're racing along, and the line is trying to work its way to catch up as well. Eventually it may do it and have a line merger. And then we go into a squall line. But right now, we've got individual cells that are tracking through and by far. Let me see if there's anything up north. Not so much, just some individual stuff out ahead of it, barely there in northern Tallapoosa County. But I think where we're going to see our best opportunity for some of these individual cells are down south here, especially with this one over Fort Deposit. Which has the warning. So that tornado warning still remains in effect, including Fort Deposit, Calhoun, Sandy Ridge, Hazel School, and eventually that could get over toward Mount Carmel. So if you live in Mount Carmel and in places in through southwestern Montgomery County, this storm's approaching. And there's already some lightning in and around there, just north and west of Raymer. But this circulation's right there. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah. Still in there around Fort Deposit. And they're keeping the warning ongoing with that. Let's see, the tornado warning for northeastern Butler and northeastern Crenshaw County will expire at 3:30. Well, that's from Mobile. Yeah, but we'll see if Birmingham hangs on to that warning. And that warning for Lowndes County runs until 3:45, so that's going to continue. That was at 3:23. So the severe thunderstorm capable of producing the tornado was located over very near Fort Deposit, maybe just northeast of there now, moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. And that may be our circulation right through here now. Get a little harder to see. Right. And Mobile was looking at near Repton in Conecuh County. Let's see what else we got out there. I'm going to have to look at Yeah, that guy right there. So that's just south of Monroeville and around Repton. Starting to get a little bit of a look to that. Getting a little notch developing right there. You got a lot of lightning up in through the northern part of the storm. Maybe some hail in there. But just to the north and west of Repton, along Alabama 84, kind of forming right there, probably just to the north and east of 84 now, and just south of Monroeville. So this storm will bear watching. It could be just a quick spin up. That's how the one earlier looked, and then the next thing you know, we've got a warning on it. So I'm going to save that and we'll come back to it while I'm there. Let me just see if got anything on velocity with that. It's a little messy, but it's probably right there. Let's see. Need to pick that from, oh, nearest only. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of circulation ongoing right there. Jewelry south of there, between there and Repton. So that could be our next player. Right now, still watching that storm in southern Lowndes County. A lot of lightning with that. And let's see what it looks like on velocity. Well, we'll see if they're sticking with that. That's what I thought. Southeastern Lowndes County canceled. They're just, I can't see a circulation there. It's just broadened out. Okay. So, and for some reason, I guess Mobile's just going to let that expire. That's why that polygon is still there. But obviously the storm's gone from there. Northern Butler County and Crenshaw. And so Birmingham canceled. That's good. So that means we don't have any active tornado warnings for now. So that's good. So that storm in southern Lowndes County around Fort Deposit broadened out. Warning canceled. Okay. But just because that doesn't mean we can't get something to spin back up. But we also got the squall line moved through Selma. Pretty much, yeah. I think the heaviest rains moved through Selma. I got some lightning on the Montgomery camera. So that's approaching from the southwest and through Montgomery. And that'll be coming into town. It's going to make some noise. It's going to have some wind and rain with that. Southwest winds at 15. You can kind of see a little bit of that lightning that's ongoing with it. A lot of lightning out there. That's looking toward downtown. So, yeah, tons of lightning ongoing with that. Severe thunderstorm warning, Butler and Conecuh. So is that what we're going to go with? That's what Mobile's going to go with. I believe a severe thunderstorm warning down here with these storms. We'll get that pulled up. So, it didn't trigger that storm we were looking at. Pull that over. For around Repton, Weather Service out of Mobile, going with a severe thunderstorm warning for that for southwestern Butler, central Monroe County, and also central Conecuh County. Until 4:15, that's severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. That storm just northeast of Repton. About 4 miles northeast of Repton, or about 9 miles southeast of Monroeville. Right there. And it's moving to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. All right, so one of the hazards with that is maybe wind gust up to 60 miles per hour. So that's kind of what we're looking at with that individual cell. Radar indicated, and they didn't put a tornado tag on that. Just max wind gust around 60 miles per hour. Sometimes when these storms they may think are capable of tornado, they'll put a tornado tag on there, but it's got a hail threat and then just wind gust 60 miles per hour. So that warning again till 4:15. 4:15? 3:30. 2. All right, so that individual cell, severe thunderstorm warning, Lafayette. It's going to cross over Alabama 83. That'll be probably just north of Evergreen. Okay. Got a new severe thunderstorm watch or warning, and that's going to be for Elmore and Watauga County. So let me spool up here. Oh, I see what they're going to do now. So now the line is intensifying a little bit, so now we're going to get severe thunderstorm warnings. See how that is? It goes for Elmore County from Wetumpka. Let me see, does that include Eclectic? Right up to Eclectic. So what's happening here is this line may have intensified a little bit here in Watauga County and back into Dallas County in northern Lowndes. So it's going to push eastward. So we could have some damaging winds in here. And you got this big cluster of storms just moving north and eastward. So all this is kind of converging there. Let's see this severe thunderstorm warning. I just have the warnings on my watch. Just another way to notify me since I'm running this solo. All right, so that's severe thunderstorm warning for Watauga, western Elmore, northern Lowndes, and northwestern Montgomery County till 4:15. And that severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending near Mulberry to Otaugaville to near Benton, moving east at 55. So that thing's hauling. This is starting to pick up some speed here. So now we got this moving at 55 miles per hour to the east, and so winds in there could get up to about 60 miles per hour. So you'll know when that comes blowing through. And just kind of one of those nights where you want to be in a safe place with storms moving through. And at some point, this line's going to catch up with all this out here. And so hopefully we don't have any more real individual cells that get going. They're still down there toward the south, but if the line will catch up. But it has intensified a little bit. So now Weather Service out of Birmingham is prompting that severe thunderstorm warning. It includes Wetumpka, Wallsboro, Titus, Millbrook. This is for Prattville included in this. And what else we got? Montgomery's included in the severe thunderstorm warning for a line of storms that's going to be moving through. Could have wind gusts up there as high as 60 miles per hour, but it is hauling, moving to the east at about 55 miles per hour. So right now, coming into Otaugaville, pretty intense right there. Very heavy rain, some lightning with that. Prattville, get ready. That's about to come blowing in there. Going to come right down 82. Come right into town, blowing through, moving eastward along Alabama 14 as well. And as that pushes through, that'll pass through Millbrook, Hopeful, Wetumpka, eventually Eclectic, Titus, Santuck, Montgomery. And down south, we got this big cluster of rain and storms. A lot of lightning with this thing. I bet a lot of folks waking up to that. Hayneville southward over toward Raymer from Fort Deposit. Tornado warning no longer. And then we pick up that other severe thunderstorm, which this one will still bear watching because it's kind of, it's still got a little notch on it. Still got some lightning up here just to the north of it. So if we were to get anything, this could be ramped up at some point. Right now it's a severe thunderstorm warning toward Lafayette and areas east of that. And it's kind of that little lone guy out there, that little kidney bean looking thing. And those are the ones you got to watch as far as maybe becoming more of a tornadic threat. But for right now, maybe it's behaving. Let's see if I can pick that up, see if anything's trying to get going down there. Could be. Could be a little bit there trying to get going. So we'll just kind of watch that. Just because there's a severe thunderstorm warning out for it doesn't mean we can't get something to try to spin up with that, and that can easily be upgraded. So I'll watch that. See if we're talking about that. $336. Okay. We just. That's northwest of Evergreen. Yeah, that one's northbound. So this guy, that's severe thunderstorms located about 8 miles northwest of I-65 and US 84, or about 10 miles northwest of Evergreen, moving northeast at 40. Hazard wind gust at 40. So that's kind of what we're still holding on with that. But could there be some circulation trying to get going there? We'll see. Kind of looks like it, but right now just a severe thunderstorm warning. All right. Well, let's see here. I'll tell you what I should do is I'm going to go let you look at that for a minute. And since we're past Selma, I'm going to pull up Millbrook. And we're going to watch that come in from that vantage point. Because it's going to get loud there in Prattville here very shortly, and Millbrook as well. So I've got that pulled up. So we're going to watch this line. We'll be able to see it visually because I will have Montgomery camera, and then this is Millbrook. We're looking off toward the west. There's the big church right there, I-65, Prattville, Highway 14 right through there, and then you get into across I-65 right there. So you can see that thing's dropping out some lightning. Things are about to roll into Prattville and then eventually Millbrook. And there you go. Quite a light show ongoing with that. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So we'll see this thing come right down the highway there. Again, that's 14 right there, and then I-65 runs right through there. There's the exit with the hotels and everything right there at 14. All right, so there you go. We're going to get quite a light show probably with that coming through. So that's from Millbrook. And I'm going to look at that from the radar perspective as well. Again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning out for that. And it's moving east at around 50 miles per hour, 55 actually. And that is approaching Prattville here very shortly. So that's what we're looking at. Our camera is right in through right there. And we're looking back into this. As a matter of fact, let's see here. Is that what I got pulled up? Yeah. So that's what we got. Kind of see that coming. So Again, we're looking into that right there. And that's what's approaching right there. Squall line, very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. Heavy downpours coming in with that also. So you got a lot of wind and rain coming your way. Prattville, Millbrook, got a severe thunderstorm warning out for that. Really coming through Otagoville right now. A lot of heavy rain, lightning. And eventually this will, actually Montgomery, we've got this coming up from the south and then this line here. So all that's kind of converging. So we've got quite a line of heavy rain and lightning and storms approaching some of our populated areas from Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, and Montgomery, obviously. So that is on the move. Right now, no active tornado warnings, but we do have the severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to take that camera off. And I'm going to pull out just a little bit here. Still got that severe thunderstorm warning down south with that individual cell that we got to keep an eye on. That's in Conecuh County pretty much. And then here's our line. We got the heavy rain here overhead, I think, Christopher. So Selma, light to moderate rain. Demopolis in the clear, US 43 corridor, no problems. Marion, good. Just light to moderate rain, still ongoing, but your severe weather threat has moved through. Right now, basically, it's approaching the I-65 corridor on the northern part of our area. Then it extends south and westward, but it'll push across. And so this line's going to produce some very heavy rain, some gusty winds, and a lot of lightning with it as well. Power outages are definitely could be a problem. You put this wind in there, and then you get a lot of lightning ongoing, so two of those things could cause some power outages. So we are, last I checked, I am also on our Facebook page streaming, and it looks like I'm still there. So if you lose power, you can go over to our Facebook page, and I am there on a Facebook Live, still ongoing. A little bit of a delay, but not much. So you have that option if you do lose power and you can go to your phone and pull us up on Facebook. And it's a very real possibility that some of you are going to lose power. So make sure, set your alarm for work on your phone once this passes by, so you can be up and at it tomorrow. Big transition day tomorrow. We're going to go from severe weather to winter weather. Cold afternoon. Big shock to the system. But that's just how it goes down here. March is big transition month. You can get a little bit of everything. All right, so severe thunderstorm warning continues for that storm right there at Lithion, and that is west of Mount Olive. Owassa included in that severe thunderstorm warning, although it's north of there. And that cell's moving off to the east-northeast. That's going to get over into Butler County, over into Chapman area here in the next little bit. The lightning still ongoing with that, and it's still a little isolated cell. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for it. But that's it. And all right, nothing there. So we'll keep an eye on that one, that individual cell. But we've got a lot kind of converging on the river region, from Prattville to Wetumpka to Montgomery. And we've got this coming through right now in Montgomery. Then we've got the line back here from Whitehall moving into Prattville now. Got heavy rain ongoing here, coming right through town. and Montgomery. We'll get that pulled up for you. There we go. You see our camera swaying. Winds out at the airport. Southwest at 28. And we've got heavy rain coming down in Montgomery. Oh yeah, so that's Montgomery. Let's go back up to Millbrook, because it's coming in through about the same time. Oh yeah, look at that. So that rain's coming through Prattville. Millbrook, we're looking off toward the west. There's the big church right there off of I-65. And there's a ton of lightning with that. And there's just a wall of water coming too. Kind of see that. Right over Prattville at the moment. Severe thunderstorm warning for you folks, Prattville. All the way to Wetumpka. Just cranking out the lightning. Look at that. And let's see, we can go back to Montgomery. Well, there's Montgomery. Heavy rain kind of blowing across our camera. You can hear that wind whipping through our tower at the moment. It's a little bit higher, sticks up in there. We can hear the wind down here once it gets blowing through there. And that is what's coming through. So this is moving through the west side of town right now, Montgomery County. And then we've got the line back here toward the west from Prattville, southward toward Otagoville. And that is racing off toward the east. So this line's about to catch up with anything that was kind of out ahead of the main line. Let's go northward a little bit. Moderate to heavy rain up around Alexander City. You folks are dealing with gusty winds, very heavy rain. They didn't pull the trigger on a severe thunderstorm warning for you folks, but that's heading eastward. It'll be moving over the river and eventually Lake Martin. Strong winds, very heavy rain. Some lightning, but we really pick things up once we get a little farther southward. And that is roughly from Prattville in toward Montgomery. We've got a lot of lightning in some of this stuff here. Out toward the airport. Got a little cell right there. Gonna move right over the airport. Got a ton of lightning with it. Uh, 346. The severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Otago, western Elmore, and northern Lowndes and northwestern Montgomery County continues with the storms there. We're located in a line extending near Titus to Otago County Airport to near Whitehall, moving east at 50. 60 mile per hour wind gust be included by that. That's your main threat with the line moving through there. And then you got some of these cells out here. It's moving through. Got that little cell right there, just west of the airport, coming up in the west side of town. It's included in that severe thunderstorm warning, but most of that was issued for that line. But there's a lot of lightning with that cell. Kind of got a little bit of a kidney bean feature to that. Let's see, is anything else showing up with that? No. Don't see anything on the velocity. That's good. So a big cluster of rain and storms with a lot of lightning just south of town. Look at that. Anywhere from Fort Deposit, man, right along I-65, trying to navigate that right now, south of Montgomery. Boy, that is no fun right there. That will cause a problem. Very heavy rain, vivid lightning. Leetahatchee southward, just west of Sandy Ridge, right there along I-65. That's a pullover. Let that pass. And that's crossing right over. So eventually that'll head over 31. That's a load of lightning right there. Ton of lightning. Look at that. And that's south of Hope Hole and Pentlala. So that's down in Lowndes County. Making that eastward track. It's going to head over 331, southern Montgomery County, anywhere from Hope Hole southward. Oh, some lightning in and around Pike Road, but not included in a warning or anything. Just some moderate to heavy rain with a lot of lightning ongoing with that. Okay, let me just check in with everybody, Mobile and Birmingham. Nothing new. So everything's kind of converging right here in central Alabama. You can see all that, a lot of lightning, very heavy rain. Right now we just have severe thunderstorm warnings for Elmore, Autauga, also Montgomery County, and then southward through Conecuh and also Butler County with those storms. Back westward, just some lightning still ongoing, but from Marion to Selma to Camden, pretty much the severe weather threat has shifted east of you. Yeah. And Demopolis is pretty much out of the rain. The cold air is going to be coming in here shortly behind that. So that's what we'll be looking at as we head into tomorrow. All right. Let's see here. So didn't go severe with that, but it got a ton of lightning from Fort Deposit right on up into southern Montgomery County, right there into Pentlala. So that does head into Pentlala. Mount Carmel, Sandy Ridge, Leetahatchee. All right. So if you live in these areas, just a lot of lightning, some very heavy rain. But if we want to pick up the severe thunderstorm warning, we'll get on that. Very heavy rain from Titus southward along 111. That'll be into Hopeful, southward toward Elmore. Just moved through Millbrook, still heavy rain in Millbrook. Just looking at that with our camera off screen. East of Deatsville now, the heaviest part of that. Heavy rain's going to be approaching Wetumpka with some lightning with that. That'll cross over 331 north of Wetumpka and cross over Highway 9. And then you can see that severe thunderstorm warning just up to eclectic, but including central Santuck, WAKA, and also Seaman is included in that severe thunderstorm warning. But right now, the heaviest rain is going to be right there at Riddle, Aitken Hill, heading over toward Wallsboro, and eventually Santuck. Going to be some heavy rain and wind in there. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Moving to the east, northeast at about, east actually, I think at about 55 miles per hour. So wind gusts could be getting up there at about 60 miles per hour. Got just other clusters of storms inside this large area where we actually have the line right here kind of merging with all that. And so Prattville right now, most of that heavier rain still overhead, but shifting eastward, still impacting Millbrook. A lot of lightning on the west side of Montgomery, north and east of town between Montgomery and Wetumpka, up around Blue Ridge. And that'll be heading over toward Blue Ridge and also Redland. You see that little cluster there about to move up into Blue Ridge. Very heavy rain, a lot of lightning with that. Got some very heavy rain right there with lightning over Pike Road. Southeast of Montgomery. And then that big cluster right there has just been a big time lightning producer. Okay. Christopher, you mic'd up over there?
I'm not sure.
You got it on? Yeah, if it's on, you should be able to. I don't hear you. Go ahead and see if I can hear you. Just count.
This is weather.
I don't hear you in there. Faulkner, if you've got, I'm not sure if we've got Christopher's mic ready to go. You're on weather 2? Check that out. Weather 2? Okay. Maybe we'll get that up here in just a little bit. We've got rising that'll be coming up at 4:30, so we've got about half an hour. Meanwhile, severe thunderstorm warning continues for Elmore, eastern Autauga, and western Montgomery County, with storms moving through there. Capable of some strong winds. You folks are going to notice it when it comes through there. Power outages are a good possibility. Hopefully you've got all the outdoor furniture buckled down, because there's some strong winds just going to be blowing through there. It's approaching Wetumpka. Okay. And it sounds like you may be hot now, Christopher. This is weather. Can you hear me? All right. It says you can. All right. Good deal. So I'll let you pipe in whenever you find something over there that you may see from your vantage point. Meantime, we just continue to track this big area. Good soaking rains. We definitely need that. So we've got some good rain moving through here. Squall line's moving pretty quick. So I'm thinking a lot of this will be on the east side of I-65. By the time we get towards 6 o'clock, it should be farther on eastward. So we may have a lot of this out of here and gone by 7 a.m. And that'll be good. Meanwhile, looking southward, we've kind of got all this out ahead of that main line, but it's all going to merge at some point. It's already doing so, it looks like, on the northern extent of that, kind of catching up. But boy, there's a ton of lightning and all that, and very heavy rain, especially this south of Montgomery and through southwestern Montgomery County. And we got it opening up here in town with the rain coming through here. And that's just that little batch right there. So I can imagine when these higher reflectivities that's really got to be coming down. All that north of Wetumpka, right through there. That's pretty intense. Probably got a lot of wind with that. So that's moving through Riddle. That's crossing over 231, and that's moving into Wallsboro, Santa. It'll cross over Highway 9. That's right up there around WAKA. And that's northern Elmore County. And then it kind of weakens a little bit there once you get over into Coosa, but really the most intense part's probably going to be along that part right there, crossing over 231. Right there at Riddle, in between there and Wallsboro, all the way to Wetumpka. And then that'll head over towards Santuck, and more than likely that'll cruise through Eclectic and cross over that 229 corridor in the eastern side of Elmore County. Cross over the river at some point as well. So that's all downstream. Right now, pretty heavy rain and wind, more than likely along that right there. It's running from east of Titus now, southward. It looks like it's east of Millbrook now, east of Prattville. But still in line with that's going to be Wetumpka, city of Montgomery. But really the most intense part of that seems to be right there in Elmore County, from Riddle southward through Wetumpka, all the way to Alabama 15, right there at Madison Park Elementary School, Bolston, east of Millbrook now. See that heaviest has moved east of Millbrook. It's going to head over toward the 231 corridor, Blue Ridge, and there's some pretty intense heavy rain ongoing. Let's see, is this a new one or is this just extended? Let me check this out. No, that's just got extended. So, and that'll include Eclectic. So that part that I've been talking about here.
I think we have one saying for Elmore and Tallapoosa.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. Let's see, Central Elmore, East Central Alabama, Southern Tallapoosa County. Radar indicated severe thunderstorm located over Santuck, are near Wetumpka, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Wind gust in there could be upwards of 70 miles per hour, so they've kind of upped the wind on that. And that's a damaging wind threat with a considerable tag. So that starts getting, if you're in a, hopefully, because of the tornado watch, and Elmore County was included in that if you lived in a mobile, or you live in a mobile home, that you found a safer place to get to tonight. Because right now, you've got this bearing down on you, and that could have wind gusts of 70 miles per hour. So that's some pretty intense wind blowing right through there from WAKA, heading into Santuck and Wallsboro. If you are in Santuck, you get to, you want to be in a safer place, sturdier place with these storms coming through there. Winds could be up there pretty intense coming through Santuck here very shortly, knocking on the door right now. So hunker down there in Santuck, Wallsboro. This is moving toward Eclectic, so if you live in Eclectic, you're included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And that is a line of strong winds, some lightning in there, very heavy rain. That's crossing over Highway 9 right now. And that extends southward toward Wetumpka and the Blue Ridge area. So pretty intense area there of wind. And that runs until 4:45. That's severe thunderstorm warning for Elmore County. Again, from WAKA southward to Santuck, going to be approaching Faulkner, Eclectic, Claude. They'll head eastward. Some pretty intense winds, very heavy rain, some lightning along that. It extends into Wetumpka. And that's coming into Montgomery, this squall line. And just, I can hear just from what we're getting here with these returns, that's passing overhead right now. And then when I look at these returns that are a little on the reflectivity, just indicating probably some really strong, more intense rain and a little bit more intense right there. Coming into Santuck. So if you live in Santuck, treat this as it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is an intense storm with strong winds, maybe damaging winds with that. So, and that is a little bit more intense right there, just to the west of Santuck. It's going to be pushing right across Highway 9. And that's just north of Wallsboro. That'll cross over the Georgia Road 170 and eventually move into Eclectic. So pretty intense lightning, very heavy rain, and some strong winds with that. So Santuck, you need to be in your safe place. I would, with a severe thunderstorm warning with that and the returns and the lightning intensity on that, get in your safe place as that thunderstorm comes through, because it could be damaging winds. And that could blow over trees. If you lose power, we are on Facebook Live on our station page and our weather page. And you can pull us up on your phone if you lose power. And we've got from Pike Road southward, just west of Raymer, a lot of lightning with that, pushing eastward. So that's pretty intense. Fort Deposit, you've had your share of heavy rain and storms coming through there. More on the way. Greenville, some lightning, heavy rain. Things pick up right there at Chapman. Pretty heavy rain, intense right there. We've got some new development down here south in Bruton, so we'll have to watch that for Covington County when all that gets going right there. That heads on eastward. That's got a lot of lightning with it, so we got to watch that. Kind of out there by itself. But let's start and stay with this, because I think this is our most intense part of this at the moment. Right here in Elmore County. Let's see, we got anybody on? Got pea-size hail just west of Santuck Community, north of Wetumpka. So pea-size hail. Had some pea-size hail coming from Keith Barnett, EMA director there in Elmore County, around Hopeful and Slapout area. That's already moved through there pretty much. That was a little bit earlier. Let's see here. All right, so on Facebook. So we are there. I am live on Facebook. In case you lose power, you can pull that up on the phone. I'm on our station page and our weather page. So that's blowing into Eclectic, which is included in the severe thunderstorm warning. So you got heavy rain moving across Highway 9, which is going to be right there at Central and Seaman. Very heavy rain coming through Seaman. Some strong winds as well. But I see that as mainly wind. It's blowing into along Eclectic, eventually Kalijah. And that'll be heading up toward the Lake Martin here shortly. Going to have some strong winds across there. A lot of times these lines like this can blow across the lake, a little bit more intense, where you don't have a lot of friction from the trees. And then that is extended into Wetumpka. So this line of intense rain that's included in this severe thunderstorm warning for northern Elmore County includes Tallahassee. It actually goes into Tallapoosa County, so it crosses over the river. And that'll extend all the way from Tallahassee on up through Burlington, up to 29. That extends into Red Hill, Cherokee Bluffs, impacted by that. Some pretty intense rain where this is kind of, and wind where this is blowing out just a little bit. And that's east of around Wetumpka to just east of there, so Blue Ridge, Redland. You'll be impacted by that strong winds. We pick up even more intense heavy rain and some wind probably with this anywhere from Shorter to Pike Road. And not included in a warning, but intense rain and wind approaching the 231 corridor. We're going to cross right over that, just south of the boulevard, coming out of Montgomery, heading in toward the Pike Road, south of Mount Meigs. Intense lightning in through South Montgomery County, south of Hope Hull, between there and Raymer, crossing over 331. Some strong winds here, right, going to impact the 231 corridor. And we'll go down south a little bit. Still got some pretty intense stuff going on here. And that's going to be south of Beatrice. Going to be heading up toward 106. Not sure why that's just out there all by itself. That storm's moved out of that warned area. From south of Greenville to Chapman. Oh, I do have but we lost it. Can you work that Kalijah camera and see what's up with that? We might can pick that camera up because it's approaching there. It says it's offline. All right. So they're saying this would have been in the Elmore County area, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, quite a bit of lightning. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we've got access to the Lake Martin camera right now, Shane.
All right. So it must have. What would have got that? Let's see. Why did? Because nothing's gotten there yet. Oh yeah, just got in there. Oh yeah. So it must have just got in there and knocked it offline. All right. Here's kind of the bigger squall line moving through our area, extending from east of Alexander City now, through Tallapoosa County, Elmore, right through Montgomery, heading into Macon, eventually Bullock, but for right now, Montgomery County, southward, in through Lowndes, also Butler, Conecuh County. Down the road, Crenshaw, Pike, Bullock County will be impacted, but for right now, our most intense area of heavy rain, lightning, gusty winds, strong winds, running along and just east of the I-65 corridor along it. East of that, southern Montgomery County, moving over the 331 corridor, 31, heading over toward 231. And that will move into eastern Montgomery County shortly. And then a lot of activity moving now east of the 231 corridor in Elmore County. Pretty intense. That's where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect at the moment. So we'll pick that up. And that goes into central Tallapoosa County as well. So that heavy rain just blowing through Eclectic. You can see that along Highway 63, passing over 229 from Red Hill, right on southward through Kent, through Burlington to Tallahassee. It's just going to be approaching there very shortly, so be prepared. That's approaching your area. Very heavy rain from Claude, just south of Eclectic, right there at 63, Highway 14, heading over toward Newman. And then Faulkner, just north of Eclectic. Kalijah, very heavy rain right there from Kalijah toward Cherokee Bluffs. All right. And then you can see how intense the rain picks up as you get into this cluster. Now it looks like east of Montgomery. Looking west in our camera, things have settled down from our vantage point here, and we're in Midtown Montgomery. So that heavier rain over towards Shorter, anywhere from Pike Road, pretty intense heavy rain. No warning out for that. Just gusty winds, and then a lot of lightning between Montgomery and Raymer along 331. You got that ongoing. Around Sprague, Hobby Farm, Davis Crossroads, Pike Road, Carter's Hill, all these areas being impacted. A lot of that just east of Pentlala now. A lot of that in and around Greenville, but you still got more back to your west, so you're not in the clear just yet. And then we really pick up some intense lightning ongoing right there. And that's south of Beatrice, Lafayette, Highway 83, right there at Pine Orchard, Fairless, Nelson. And that's heading up toward Mixonville. Looks pretty intense right there. That's a ton of lightning. That's going to cross over Alabama 83 and head up toward Mixonville. Fair Nelson. All right. But no warning out for that. Kind of been keeping an eye on that one down there, just east of Bruton, coming up from the south. That's going to eventually get over into Covington County. That'll impact Andalusia at some point. It's got a lot of lightning with it, so we're going to have to watch that one. That's right over 29 right now. Okay. Looks like things are settling down in Wetumpka and in Montgomery and Prattville and Millbrook. Looks like the worst has moved through. So once you have this heavy downpour, strong winds, a lot of lightning, once you start hearing that thunder in the distance, you're on the backside of it. Now, there could still be some lightning strikes, but the majority of it's moved east of Wetumpka, Alex City, Rockford, you're good. Wetumpka, the heaviest rains moved east of you now. Severe thunderstorm warning. I think they just kind of whittled that a little bit, just east of you now. By far, the heavier rains moved east of you. Looks like it's past Santuck, past Wallsboro. Still some lightning, maybe a few lightning strikes still back behind that. But right now, everything's shifting to eastern Elmore County, eastern Montgomery County, and it's going to be moving in, and heading now into western Macon County and around Shorter, moving through Tuskegee in a bit. Fitzpatrick, Fort Davis, Union Springs is moving your direction in Bullitt County. And just a lot of intense rain, lightning, and some strong winds with that. All right, let me check. See if anybody's chatting. Butler County. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Butler County till 4. Oh, that's 4:15. That would have had to have moved out of there. Yeah, the only warning. Yeah, so the only active warning we have right now is this in Elmore and Tallapoosa County. So that's our ongoing warning right there. And that includes Tallahassee. Looks like the bulk of the heaviest is just moved east of Eclectic. But right now, a lot of that, it'll be approaching Red Hill. And it'll cross over the river. Cherokee Bluffs getting some heavy, strong winds. And that's going to pass over Alabama 49. Working along Highway 50 right now from the dam on up and through Tallapoosa County. Let's see about Dadeville. Yeah, Dadeville. Passing through there. Camp Hill, approaching you folks. Waverly. Reeltown. All in through there will be impacted here very shortly as that races off toward the east. All right. So that's what we got ongoing. All right, so no tornado warnings, that's good. We do have a tornado watch in effect for this entire area, but for right now, no tornadoes warnings out there for us. It really looks like this is formed. It's kind of caught up to a lot of the individual cells. The exception to that is down here in the far south. Got that one lone guy right in through here, this little cluster. That could be some issues. And there's still some individual cells out here that we have to watch over toward Crenshaw. And eventually this will get up into Covington County as it moves in here out of Escambia County in South Alabama. And then we'll just watch for anything that may try to develop out here in this environment from Pike County southward through the Wiregrass. But for right now, it looks as though we're talking mainly wind, a lot of rain, and a lot of lightning occurring with these storms. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we're going to have a minute here because we're going to transition into rising here very shortly. And so I'm going to let Christopher take over in the rising show, because I don't have any active tornado warnings, but of course we're going to be actively watching this closely. So Faulkner, if you're with me, I think we'll take a time out. I'll keep tracking the storms off air, but I'm still on Facebook. But what we'll do is we'll come off of TV and let you prepare for rising and let you transition into that, and we'll go from there. All right. So everybody stay weather aware, stay put. We'll get right back into tracking these storms here in a little bit. Christopher's going to take over, and we'll get rising started here at 4:30. In the meantime, thanks for joining me for severe weather coverage, and we're not done yet. We'll keep you posted.